The time is precisely 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Chandima Veerakorn. The headlines. Vada Samaga Yali Gamata program commences to take development programs to villages. Stern regulatory measures have been taken to improve the quality of reclaimed tea plantations. COP orders to remove unauthorized constructions on both sides of the Kalani River. Sending workers for employment in Saudi Arabia recommence. On foreign news, Chinese doctors jailed for illegal organ harvesting. In sports news, the second match of the LPL 2020 is scheduled to be played at the Suryavava International Stadium, Hambantota, tonight. Local stories in detail. Vada Samaga Yali Gamata program has commenced to take development programs productively to villages proposed by the budget through Gama Samaga Pilisandra program. Accordingly, the series of meetings in connection with the budget at provincial levels will commence on 14th of next month from the southern province. This was revealed during a discussion in Colombo between Chairman of the Presidential Task Force to Eliminate Poverty and Economic Revival, Basil Rajapaksa, Cabinet Ministers, State Ministers and Ministry Secretaries. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa said that the budget 2021 is not a budget of a single person, but a result of lengthy discussions with private and state sectors and community organizations for the country's development and future. He emphasized the need to take the development proposals to the people at villages as proposed by the budget. He said that there is a need to prepare a streamlined method to bring needs of the villages through regional level with the approval of regional development committees to the ministries following documentation. The Presidential Task Force will hold meetings from the 14th to the 19th of next month. Mr. Rajapaksa said that it expects to educate officials, political authority and the public. Therefore, he instructed officials to prepare a methodology and to present it to the task force without delay. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa said that special attention should be paid on foreign loans and aid. He said that the budget expects to attract foreign direct investment to the country. He added that the tourism industry will be restored by next year following discussion with relevant sectors. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana said in Parliament yesterday, stern regulatory measures have been taken to improve the quality of reclaimed tea plantations. He was responding to a question raised by parliamentarian Udayana C. Kiridiyagoda regarding the quality of reclaimed tea, which is commonly known as refused tea, at the Ministerial Consultative Committee on Plantation. Speaking further, the minister said that all tea processing factories will be subjected to an inspection on required standards and license will be issued only for those factories which meet the 80% limit. The minister stressed that it is gratifying that the price of rubber in Sri Lanka has increased and that the ministry is focusing on uplifting the rubber industry. He said restrictions have been imposed on the import of rubber since the import of rubber cannot be stopped completely. He also said that a large-scale tire factory is planned to be set up in Hambantota at a cost of $300 million, and this will be a great benefit to the rubber manufacturers. The minister also said that the Board of Investment had approved last week a project to be launched with the Chinese company Hainan Rubber Group worth $1.8 billion, which is expected to be the largest investment in the plantation industry by 2021. The minister said that the ministry is now focusing on further regulating the sale of coconut lands since the sale of coconut lands has become a serious crisis. The minister also drew attention to the need to formulate a methodology for obtaining license to cut down coconut trees. The Parliamentary Committee on Public Enterprises has ordered the removal of unauthorized constructions on both sides of the Kalani River as pollution levels in the river are rising. The directions were given to the Environment Ministry and other ministries and institutions when COPE met yesterday to discuss matters raised by the Environmental Audit Report on the pollution of the Kalani River. It was also revealed that there are several hotels and restaurants along the Kalani River which are unauthorized constructions and without environmental protection license. COPE recommended action to be taken on a particular restaurant which had operated for 18 years near the Kalani River without environmental protection permits. Sending workers for employment in Saudi Arabia has recommenced. Accordingly, 60 workers will leave for Saudi Arabia tonight. They will be employed at hotels and in the tourism sector in Saudi Arabia. They have been able to leave to Saudi Arabia following discussions between State Minister Priyanka Rajaratne, officials and representatives of job agencies. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with the local stories, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa called over on the new Mahanayaka of Sri Lanka Ramakrishna Nikaya, Most Venerable Makulave Vimala Thero today. The President visited him this morning at the Mirigama Minioluwa Vidyavasa Pirivana. The President appreciated the services rendered by the Ramakrishna Mahanikaya and pledged to continue with the support of the government for the religious and national services of the chapter. The Mahasangha, including Anunayaka of Sri Lanka Ramakrishna Mahanikaya, Venerable Madagamwe Vijaya Maitri Thero, were present on the occasion. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that raids will continue on cannabis cultivations. Meanwhile, 4 firearms manufactured in a foreign country and the locally manufactured firearm have been found following a search operation conducted at Monaragala, Palaruwa area yesterday by Panadura Anti-Vice Squad. The police media spokesman said that 3 suspects were also arrested in connection with the incident. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that 84 persons were arrested for not wearing masks and for not keeping social distance during the 24 hours ended at 6 a.m. today. He said that 744 individuals who violated quarantine regulations have been arrested since 30th October. He further said that people in isolated areas should strictly follow health guidelines. The Ratana Sutra chanting organized by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation takes place this evening from Butpitiya, Uruvala, Valagamba, Rajamahaviharaya. The Ratana Sutra chanting will be held under the guidance of the chief monk of the temple, Venerable Butpitiye Sumana Thero. It will be broadcast at 6:30 p.m. over SLBC Sinhala Commercial Service, City FM and regional services. To end the local news, the headlines again. Veda Samaga Yali Gamata program commences to take development programs to villages. Stern regulatory measures have been taken to improve the quality of reclaimed tea plantations. COPE orders to remove unauthorized constructions on both sides of the Kalani River. Sending workers from employment in Saudi Arabia recommence. That ends the local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
On the main news story, Sri Lanka has registered 251 fresh positive cases of COVID-19 by this evening. The Government Information Department stated that all of the newly identified patients are close contacts of earlier cases linked to the Paliagoda fish market. Following the new development in COVID-19 figures, Minuangoda and Paliagoda clusters infection tally has reached 18,704 42 Epidemiology Unit said the total number of COVID-19 infections in the country now stands at 22,279. Recoveries from the virus, meanwhile, climbed to 16,226 earlier today, as 410 more patients recovered. However, 5,954 active cases are still under medical care. Sri Lanka has also witnessed 99 deaths related to COVID-19. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watch Light, the Water Supply and Drainage Board says that water supply will be interrupted for 6 hours from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Monday due to maintenance work. The Water Board said that water supply will be suspended to Madirigiriya, Hinguragoda and Batukotua areas during that time. That ends Watch Light. Moving on to the world news, the headlines. Chinese doctors jailed for illegal organ harvesting. Indian farmers clash with police in protest march. Pig guts fly as Taiwan lawmakers brawl over U.S. pork imports. 6 people, including several doctors, have been jailed in China for illegal harvesting organs from accident victims. Local media said the group had tricked the families of the deceased into thinking they were making official organ donations. Between 2017 and 2018, they removed the livers and kidneys from 11 people at a hospital in Anhui province. According to local reports, the trafficking ring included 4 high-ranking doctors who worked in organ procurement in hospitals. Farmers from India's Punjab state have clashed with the police in Delhi as they protest reforms they say are against their interest. Thousands of farmers have been marching in protest to the capital since early this week. Many defied barricades to enter neighbouring Haryana state. There is heavy security in Delhi and metro services have been disrupted. The government denies that the reforms, which open the farming sector to private players, will hurt farmers. Taiwan's opposition legislators have thrown pig guts and exchanged blows in parliament amid a heated row over easing of U.S. pork imports. They say a recent government decision to allow the import of U.S. pork containing ractopamine, an additive banned for pig use in Taiwan and the European Union, is a health threat. Lawmakers from Taiwan's main opposition party ruled buckets of pig intestines towards Premier Su Tseng-chang today to stop him from taking questions in Parliament. Moving on to development news. Steps have been taken to develop infrastructure for sports in several schools. A group of officials, including State Minister Thenuka Vidanagamage, visited schools in Puttalam district to look into the development needs. They inspected Senanayaka Central College, Karukua Sugatananda Central College, Anamadua Central College, Ratnapala Mahavidyalaya, Helamba Vatavana Sri Saddhammananda Mahavidyalaya and St. Mary's College in Chilao. And on sports news, the second match of the LPL 2020 is scheduled to take place at Suryavava International Stadium in Hambantota between Gaul Gladiators and Jaffna Stallions at 8 p.m. tonight. Meanwhile, all-round skills of Isuru Udana helped Colombo Kings secure a thrilling super over win against Candy Tuskers in the opener of the 2020 Lanka Premier League in Hambantota last night. The first T20 International of West Indies tour of New Zealand was played in Auckland today. Batting first, West Indies scored 180 for 7 wickets in 16 overs. New Zealand won by 5 wickets by scoring 176 in 15.2 overs today. The first one-day International of India tour of Australia was underway in Sydney today. Australia won the match by scoring 374 for 6 wickets in 50 overs. India was able to score only 308 for 8 wickets in 50 overs. That ends sports news. On to business news. NIBM has offered scholarships for those who have been affected by the second wave of COVID-19. Scholarships have been offered for degree, diploma and certificate programs. Director General of the Institute, Dr. D.M.A. Kulasurya said that scholarships are offered for all fields including computer, business, engineering, fashion designing and architecture. That ends business news.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Moving on to economic news. World stocks remained on course for their best month ever today as recent vaccine progress, Joe Biden's US presidential election win, hopes for further stimulus, a commodity surge and a weak dollar all lifted the spirits. European markets had touch of caution ahead of a barrage of economic data and as questions emerged over trial data on AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine. That ends economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally on the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur tomorrow at a few places in Uva and central provinces. To end this bulletin of news, the headlines again. Veda Samaga Yali Gamata program commences to take development programs to villages. Stern regulatory measures have been taken to improve the quality of reclaimed tea plantations. COP orders to remove unauthorized constructions on both sides of the Kalani River. Sending workers for employment in Saudi Arabia recommence. On foreign news, Chinese doctors jailed for illegal organ harvesting. In sports, the second match of the LPL 2020 is scheduled to be played at Suryavava International Stadium, Hambantota, tonight. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.